So, my name is Mali. I'm a research officer at the Faculty of Education. Today, I'm here with my colleagues, John from a grad office, Dr. Immaculate Namasaka from our Associate Dean of Grad at the Faculty of Education. So, uh, briefly, we are going to talk about a little bit about facts and figures that presented by the TRI agency. Then we are going to talk a little bit the external scholarship available for grad student and postdoc. And then we are going to talk a little bit about the internal scholarship available and then talk about the preparation. Why do you have to apply? Why do you have to consider these scholarships? The main focus here is about the TRI agency scholarship, but I'm also going to let you know about other availability at Western as well. So if I want to start with a little bit of facts and figures that why it's matter, that how the numbers been in the past couple of years. Based on the TRI agency government of Canada, these numbers belongs to the from April 1st, 2024 till March 31st, 2025. Since last year, there was a significant change in TRI agency scholarship. So, we have seen that they combine all the session and the scholarship together. I will explain it a little bit further in the next slide. But during that time, about over 1,450 scholarship was awarded in the master level, and 458 was awarded in a doctoral scholarship award. That time we also have doctoral fellowship, and about 477 was awarded only to the SSHRC category. 69 of the students that awarded this scholarship during that time were first year student, and 31% were in the second year. About the postdoc, that time, the SSHRC and Banting were all separated and considered as two different scholarships. For SSHRC, there was 590 eligible application and over 130 fellowship were awarded, and Banting only 23 awarded. So let's start with the external scholarship available at Western. And first, I'm going to start about the master, then move to the doctoral, and then to the postdoc options. Starting with the Canada Graduate Research Scholarship, a master program, and I should mention it that before, as I said before, last year we had it as a, for example, SSHRC or as a CIHR or as a NSERC, but now all of them are combined and it's under one umbrella, Canada Graduate Research Scholarship Master Program. The other changes that was happened since last year was the value of the award that significantly increased, and now is 27,000 for a year. And that award can be used for a year. Who is eligible to apply? If you are a Canadian citizen, if you have a permanent residency, if you are any status aside from international at Canada, you are eligible to apply. So international students, unfortunately, are not eligible to apply for this scholarship. You can apply for a master program if you decide to go to the master program and any time between 0 to 12 months. So if you almost finish 12 months or a year in your program, you're still eligible to apply. And when we said about the 12 months, for example, if you decide to apply for this year, by end of December, if you are going to be in that duration from 0 to 12 months, you are eligible to apply. But if by December 31st, you are in the 13 or 14 months, you are not eligible to apply. The other thing that you need to consider is that usually you can only have one of the award at a time. You can apply for different agency, and you can hold more than one Canada Graduate Scholarship in a master level. The selection criteria is a little bit different from the doctoral and postdoctoral, and 15% is in academic, based on academic excellence, 30% on research potential, and 20% on personal characteristic and interpersonal skills. Since last year, they're also decided to move forward and have a specific category for Indigenous students. So if you are known as an Indigenous person, feel free to use that option, and that give you another section that need to be completed, and then you will also evaluate on that category as well. When is the deadline? So the application going to be open by early September. By December 1st, before 8 p.m. is the deadline for Western, and you have to submit your final application. Between December 2nd till end of March, a committee will going to evaluate and review your application. And if you were awarded, or even if not, we are going to be informed by after April 1st. One of the documents that you need to have and prepare is your official transcript. If you were a former Western student, you can click on this link. By the way, these links are going to be shared with all of you, so you are going to have access with all the links. So by clicking on that form, you can request your official transcript from Western. The person in charge at Western is Ali McDonald. So if you have any question regarding this program, you can directly contact Ali about that. Western also provide writing support for any scholarship that you are going to work on it. So, and that can also be found at Writing Support Center at Western. The next scholarship provided by the Canada Graduate Research Scholarship and the government is a doctoral program. Again, since last year, the value has increased to $40,000 per year. And if you are Canadian permanent resident or protected person, or an international student, you are now eligible to apply for this scholarship. So that's the difference between master and doctoral program. For the doctoral program, you can and you are eligible to apply. For the master program, you are not eligible to apply. Based on what was proposed in the last year, we could see that around 15% of the doctoral award belong to the international students. If you are Canadian resident and you want to go somewhere out of Canada, for example, if you decide to go to US or Europe or somewhere else around the globe to do your doctoral program, you are still eligible to apply for this grant, and you are eligible to transfer this money to the other institution out of Canada. But again, you should be Canadian citizen. If you are international, you should be and you must be a doctoral student at any Canadian institution, and you can transfer this award outside of Canada. By end of December 31st, if you are under 36 months of your doctoral program, you are still eligible to apply for this grant. 36 months by end of December 31st. So if you are currently in a second or third year and you think, oh, I'm still gonna be in that duration, feel free to apply for that scholarship. Again, like the master program, only one application you can have at a time, and you can have more than one application. We may say that now that the government of Canada kind of combine all the CIHR, NSERC, and SSHRC. But again, when you are going into the website, you have to pick. And if you don't know what's the difference between CIHR, NSERC, and SSHRC, SSHRC is for the social sciences. The majority of our students in the Faculty of Education is under SHERC program. We have a NSERC, Natural Science and Engineering, and we have a CIHR, which is Canadian Institution of Health. So if you are health related, you can apply for CIHR. If you are more in the science and engineering, you have to apply for NSERC, and for social sciences, you have to consider picking the SHERC one. So the criteria for this grant is based on 50% research potential and 15% relevant experience and achievement obtained within and beyond academia. The application is currently open, so if you are a PhD student or you are a direct PhD student and you plan to apply, so the application open, and the deadline going to be September 22nd, which is pretty close in almost 1.5 months. And then the adjudication going to be happen during September 23rd and November 20, and the result going to be announced by April. Again, Ali McDonald at Western is the main contact for this specific scholarship. Let's move to the postdoc one, Canada Postdoctoral Research Award Program, or CPRA. You may have heard before that there was also Banting and other options for postdoc. Now there is nothing, and all of them are just one. And everything gonna be one postdoctoral award, and it's going to be for 2 years and for $70,000 per year. So it's $70,000 per year. So each applicant, again, should pick based on the field of study and based on the field of the research. And again, anyone, any Canadian citizen, any permanent resident, and even international previous student, because postdoc are not considered student, are also eligible to apply for this program. About 20% of the postdoctoral award usually dedicated to the international applications. And again, the Canadian postdoc can transfer this money and can use this money and can use it in any school outside of Canada. Again, that's only
for a year now, so let's talk about it. Cameras are screened.
Sorry, I think it
And
sorry, just please unmute yourself. And okay, that's back. About, as I said, 30% of their postdoc can used before this award outside of Canada. But again, you should be Canadian to be able to transfer the award going to any other university outside of Canada. Every applicant is eligible to apply only 3 times for this application. So if you apply for the 3rd time and were not eligible and not awarded, unfortunately, you are not eligible to apply for the 4th time. So the criteria for this is based on a research potential, 50%, and quality of proposed research program for 15%. The application is currently open if you are a last year PhD student, or if you're currently a postdoc and consider applying for this program. I encourage you to start as soon as possible. This application has 2 deadlines actually. One is from Western and the other one is the actual external one. So the deadline for the SHERC application is September 3rd. For the CIHR is September 3rd, and for the NSERC is October 6th. They are the Western deadline. And usually what we means by that by that time, you should submit your application to Western Postdoctoral Office, as well as your supervisor, your postdoc supervisor should also create a ROLA on your behalf. So that's the reason it's important to be sure that you are not going to miss these deadlines. Then by September 10 for SHERC, September 16 for CIHR, and October 17 for NSERC, you should submit and finalize your application in the actual portal. And then around the end of March, early April, usually they announce the recipient of this award. At Western, Mihaela Hermes is the main contact for all postdoc programs. So if you have any questions, feel free to directly contact Mihaela. Is there any other external scholarship? Yes, we have lots of different scholarship. Another government scholarship that can be used for our graduate students, including master and PhD, that who awarded already one of the three agencies scholarship is known as Training Award for Research Travel Supplements. This award has been increased this year to 9,000 and it can be used for 2 to 6 months, and you can use this money to travel to another location or country and do your research during the time. This award actually happened twice a year. So if you have already received one of the three agencies, master or PhD, you can apply for this award once during May 15 and once during September 15, one for fall, one for springs. And then you can see if you can secure the money and travel abroad. Ali McDonald, again, is in charge of this grant. So if you want, you have to directly discuss it with her. Another major scholarship at Western is Ontario Graduate Scholarship and Queen Elizabeth. Ontario Graduate Scholarship is also known as OGS. Probably many of you have already heard about that, and Queen Elizabeth Scholarship. Both of them are given to the awardee for a year, and it's $15,000. Anyone, including international, can apply for that, but you have to be graduate student during that time. And if you are, for example, a PhD program for 4 years, you should be under 9 term or earlier. And that may change based on the program you are going to be. For example, if you are a master student that planning to apply for the OGS, you should actually apply before end of term 3 or 4. If you have already submitted an application for three agency, you can use the same application and apply for OGS or Queen Elizabeth. The deadline for this application is January 30. In the past couple of years, and I don't think that they're going to change it for this year, but based on what happened this year, the deadline was January 30, and the result going to be announced by May. Erin Daly at Western is in charge of this specific scholarship. Do we have any others? Yes, we do. I have added some of the major important awards that currently available at our Western website that you can click on each of them and see if you are eligible or not. One of the main important one is MyTax. I don't know if you have heard about it or not, but even as a grad student, MyTax has different options. You can go to their website. They have different options for training, for postdoc, for traveling abroad, and they have different options. Currently at Western, we have three representatives from MyTax, and if you enter to their website and search the MyTax representative and then find London, you are able to find the MyTax representative at London, and you can contact with them and ask about the available options for you guys. So let's move to the internal scholarship. But before moving to internal scholarship, we are going to have a trivia, and I'm going to pass it to John and Jafaya, my colleagues. So they are going to take care of the sections, and we are going to award you a book, actually. So, Jafaya.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're enjoying the presentation. So, my first trivia question is for those of us that are in the Faculty of Education building, what is the name? Who is it named after, actually? And I can't see everyone. So,
You can unmute yourself or you can type it in the chat if you feel
yes, the
comfortable
first one to
that way.
type it in. Oh, that's right, John Outhouse. So I don't know CarChimp5. Could you just type in your full name in the chat so that we make sure it's given to the right person? Perfect. Thank you, Cara.
Hi.
Sorry? Okay. Okay. So the next question I have is a true or false. Applicants can submit scholarship applications to all three tri-agency programs, CARH, NSERC, and SSHRC. Can you apply for all three scholarships? Yes or no? False. Oh, you guys are listening. That's so great. But the first person to put it in the chat was Ming
I
Cheng. So congrats, Ming Cheng.
I think Amber Hopkins was the
Oh,
first one to
I'm
be,
sorry.
and then
There
Min Cheng.
actually
But
was,
since you
yes.
said Min Cheng, I'm going to add both of them to our list.
Okay. And do we still have one more, or is our three gone?
I think we can go one more.
One more?
Mhm.
Okay. When is the deadline to apply for the fall scholarships? What is the deadline?
Okay.
We have the 19th, the 18th, the 22nd. Can you confirm for me, Mally?
Okay. Just maybe I think to ask about which one actually. Was it for the travel or was it for the master or PhD one?
I'm going to say the master.
Master. So
Yes,
anyone for the master? Can you please type it?
master.
Okay. December 1st. Yes. Cara again and Amber and see.
And see you.
Yeah,
Okay.
see you. Thank you, everyone. We appreciate your support and participation. It was great. Thanks, Jafaya, for doing this. It was fun. Seems that everybody's listening. That's good.
Congratulations, guys.
Congratulations, guys. Yeah. Okay, let's talk about the internal scholarship. So, as a grad student, with the research component, you probably, most of you, especially the doctoral student, will receive Western Graduate Research Scholarship or WGRS from Western. And if you do the teaching, you are going to also receive the GTA. And for the research, GRA. But there are also some awards that can found and donated by our donors. And all of them can find at Western website that you can go there and check their opportunities. Some of these opportunities are for a short period of time. So I recommend you guys just check this website occasionally. And some of them are just for Canadian, some of them are for international. Check them. And based on update from 2 years ago from Western, unfortunately, half of the available award and scholarship and bursaries by university not being used by a student. So that's the reason I'm just recommending check this website occasionally, see if you can find anything that you are eligible to apply for. But aside from Western, our office also have different support, financial support for you guys. Including if you are in a master program or if you are in a PhD level in a research format or thesis base, know that there are 600 for master and 800 for a PhD student to support your research. This is ongoing and competition, and you can submit your application through our website. We also have a conference application travel for PhD student, MA student, and EAD student as well. This usually happens twice a year. The next competition is going to be October 15. So if you plan to go and travel to any conferences, please proceed, download the application, and apply for this fall competition. The other one usually happen during spring, and probably next year going to be early March. We also have Indigenous research funding for grad students. So if you are an Indigenous student, you can apply for this scholarship as well. Postdoc also have some opportunities that you can find. Some of the faculty members that not have a postdoctoral person, they usually post their and advertise the job in the Western opportunities. You can find some of the listing there and see if they are matching with your research, and then you can contact them. Western also have some launched a program about 4 years ago known as Western Postdoctoral Fellowship Program, which is now very popular. And the reason is this award and fellowship can be used for 2 years. And the value is 70,000 per year, exactly like the government, but also have 5,000 per year as a research allowance. The only difference between this grant and as a fellowship with the government is this fellowship program require a matching requirement. So if you plan to apply for this program, first you have to find a supervisor and see if your supervisor or the faculty that you are going to be doing your postdoc there can provide the support for you guys. And they can provide half of the requirement for this contribution. For example, when I say half, when it's currently 70,000, so it means that 35,000 should come from the Western, and 35 should come from the supervisor or the faculty. This year competition was happened around April 17, the internal for the ROLA, and then on the final application submitted by April 14. This timing was kind of similar as the previous year, but it may change because that, as I said, is a new program, and we have seen a little bit change in time in the past couple of years. And the result this year was announced around May and June. But let's talk about the preparation, the last but not least one. And let's say why you have to apply for the scholarship and funding. Maybe someone said, what's the point aside from the money? So I think money is a big important thing, and I think it's value, and especially with this economic situation, more money is always better. But it can always strengthen your CV, especially if you want to stay in academic area. That's going to add a value to you as a scholar. Even if you said, okay, I don't want to stay in academia, what's the point of it? How can it strengthen my CV? Just consider that when you submit a publication, you have to submit a project, a proposal. In your future work, you may also need to do something similar. So that gives the person, when you submit your application, your resume or something to for a job, people can notice that, okay, this person may be able to do something, can prepare a proposal, can show it how to do it. So it's matter. So even out of academia is very important. Inside academia is a different approach for that. So if you have a chance and if you are eligible to apply, for sure apply. But for prepare a strong application, the first thing that I can say is start early, please. We have seen that at least for me being in this role for over 4 years, I've seen applications submitted late, was too much pressure on the person, the team, and everyone. And usually something happened in the last minute. So don't leave it for the last minute, especially the agency, the government agency website usually crash most of the time on deadline date. So if you can submit it early, that would be great. The first thing that you have to do is read the guideline carefully. See what's the eligibility, what's the criteria, what's the deadline, what documents you require to collect. All these things matter. So be sure that you have already collect all this information and then start preparing the rest of the application. Talk to your supervisor. It does matter because your supervisor is an expert in your field of study. And as a supervisor, as a researcher, and as a member of academia, knows some information that usually you can share with the candidate. Contact your referees ahead of time. All the faculty members, especially, or your referees, have other duties as well. And it's not even professional to reach out to them a day or two before the deadline and ask them for a reference letter. Give them time. 2 months ahead, that should be fine. Just reach out to them and ask for a strong recommendation letter. And then start preparing your application. Be sure that you are writing it in a clear language, just don't use jargon and technical terms to show that, oh, I know the best in my field. No, people are not looking into this. This should be simple to understand. And I always said, ask for feedback. The people that you can reach out to ask for feedback is your supervisor, your colleagues, your family members, your friends, especially people out of your field. If they understand what you wrote, you can have hope that the reviewer is also going to understand what you have written. Our office also can provide support regarding the proposal section part. And if you want your proposal to be a review, you can always send it to our office and we are going to provide feedback on that matter. But again, don't submit at the last minute and you can send it to our office because fall is actually a craziest time for a grant season for all the research offices. And if you just send it a night or 2 days before the deadline, we may not be able to provide the support you require. So always ahead of time, we appreciate it. Again, collect all the documents and be sure to double check everything before click on submission. And with that, I would like to thank you, all of you, for listening. And I'm going to stop recording and then you can unmute yourself and ask your question.